So I would like to highlight something and share with you some of my experiences when I talk to people about mental health. Some people get either turned off by it and they just don't even care to ask a question to learn more about it. And some people say, no, I'm fine. I don't need any mental health help or I don't need to see any mental health professional. And I just want to just kind of compare, if I may, the culture that I come from the U.S. Um, Seeing a mental health professional is a privilege, actually. It's an opportunity for someone to improve either themselves or the relationship with their spouse or the relationship with the siblings and family members as well. Um, some other cultures, they don't have the same perception about mental health. And my experience here in Malaysia, I've been here for 13 years. And my recent exposure to this field, and people are not as easygoing in that sense. And the word mental health is sometimes is a bit heavy on some people's ears. So therefore, I kind of try to explain mental health is no different than going to see to go to a fitness club to build some certain muscles for a task that you're getting ready to. For example, if your job requires specific movements or carrying something that would require some certain muscles, you want to work on these muscles as you need to use them. And mental health, seeing a professional in mental health is no different. Now we're launching this talk at Aris about parenting. It's called Parents Needed. And when I thought about the name, I was thinking I saw it from a perspective of the child. Some children really are looking for parents, even though they have parents, but they don't have the relationship with the parent as it would be, for example, someone else. So they are still searching for that parent role in their lives. And that's what the talk is going to be about, is about what does it mean to be a parent? Where did we learn the skills or the role, for being a parent? I mentioned a few examples earlier. If I go back to the example of being at work, when we go to the job, they tell us what is our role, what are the responsibilities, and that's all clear when we start our job. And actually, what happens is that we go to school, whether it's in high school or even universities, we learn how to do that job for years. How many years of schooling in parenting did we go through before we got married or before we had a child? Where did we learn the concept of parenting from? The goals of a parent, where did that come from? Some parents come and ask us to help their children because they're not behaving properly, they're not adequately, they're not being polite, or they're not performing in school, or they're not focusing in their career, they're playing games and all that. We say that did not come out of vacant. It didn't come out of nowhere. It had a cause. It has a reason why did it happen, and that is in most of the cases, it's in relationship to how the parents' relationship, how healthy the relationship between the parents and the child from the day they were born. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for example, for the mom to feed, to nurse the child for 2 years. In the school of psychology, in the field of psychology, in the mental health field of mental health, it's actually that's crucial age for the child to bond with the parent, and the concept of parenting is developed in those ages. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says for the mom to nurse the child for 2 years, it's quite significant how the wisdom of that requirement, how positively impacts the child's connection to the parents. I will talk more about that in the talk. Just make sure you block your calendars, mark the dates, and be there. It's going to be on October 26th from 10 a.m. for a couple of hours. We're going to be talking about this from a mental health perspective. Some people think of mental health as look, I'm not crazy. I don't need. Mental health has nothing to do with you being crazy. As a matter of fact, it deals with what's going inside us. How do we feel in the moment? Or what's the common feeling that we have throughout the day or throughout our lives? Do we feel shy to reach out for help, for example? Do we feel threatened when we are talking to our children, or when the child is not respectful? What does that say about me as a parent? We discuss all these kind of things in terms to relationship. So I hope to see you in my talk, and I hope you come in with open mind, open heart to learn and share your learning, and I will be more than happy to share what I learned, and inshallah it will be beneficial to all of us. Until then, Allah bless your time and efforts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.